everybody, and welcome to Life After England. Now, with Tottenham Hotspur. That's right, after our time in Rome came to an end, we are back on familiar ground, back in the Premier League with Tottenham Hotspur. Today, we take on Crystal Palace, managed by Jose Mourinho, with a couple of former players in their squad as well. And on my return to North London, I've brought a friend with me. As the managerial merry-go-round did swing round and round, and it landed with Mikel moving to take charge of Spain, which opened up a position at, my favourite club, and I jumped at the chance to go home. But in order not to spoil the surprise, I have put the infamous transfer blocker in its place, because the squad has had a bit of a churn. I've had some play in that, but a lot happened before I turned up. So Christian Romero went to Liverpool for £54 million. Jed Spence went to Manchester United. Vicario went to Benfica. That was my doing. Rodrigo Bentancur, he went to West Ham. Yves Bissouma went to Al Fahir, and Richarlison joined Zenit St. Petersburg. Sousa went to Lecce. Tell went to Bologna with an option to buy. Wilson Odegaard went to Monaco. Will Lancashire went to Bolton. Manor Solomon went to Rennes. And Jamie Donnelly joined Luton on loan. So the squad has had a bit of a churn. It will continue to have it in the final week or so of the transfer window. But we have been busy bringing players in. Let's meet them. And let's start with somebody who turned up before I arrived at the football club, and that is Nicola Savagna. He has joined us from Nottingham Forest for a fee of £35 million. Good defender, right back, can play centre-half as well. Will compete with Pedro Porro down that right-hand side. And yeah, a very good addition to the squad. As Tim Roth has joined the football club after leaving Union Berlin for a fee of £7.5 million, a left back with potential to grow. Not much, but he does have a decent crossing ability, does have decent stamina, jumping reach, so he is a defender that can get up and down the pitch, which is kind of what I look for in a defender. We've also brought in Sergi Dominguez. He has joined us from Lazio for a fee of £12.5 million. Good solid defender. Can play right back, can play centre half. 23 years old. Not capped for Spain yet, but I think he has the potential to do that in the future and has the potential to grow with us. Next man in the door is Jonathan David. He has joined us from Juventus for £22 million. Canadian international. Can play as a striker, can play behind the striker. Obviously, we generally play with three in midfield. So whether that means we adopt a 10 in some circumstances, we might do, we might not. Obviously, with Richarlison gone, Jonathan David replaces him, essentially, for the time being at least. Good ability. Physical ones in particular impress. We have gone to Anfield to bring in Cody Gakpo for a fee that will eventually rise to £44 million. Now, obviously, those that have been following us for a while now, Roma were looking to sign him last January. Our season fell apart because I don't think we got this one over the line. So he was still on the transfer list, and I thought, you know what, screw it. We need an experienced left-sided player, and Cody ticks all of those boxes. Has the ability to score goals as well. So yeah, he makes perfect sense to come in. As does our final acquisition, for now, at least. Harry Kane is back in North London. Yes, he's 35. Yes, I paid £36 million for a 35-year-old striker. But before he came back to the Premier League, he was 47 goals away from catching Alan Shearer, who has 260 Premier League goals. He's only here until the summer for the time being. I hope he will stay beyond that. We will see what happens when we get to that time period. He has already got 1 goal. He is down to 46 in the race to catch Shearer. That's why I brought him back to North London, because I want him to achieve it. And will we do it? Will he do it? We will find out in due course. And he opened the scoring as we drew on the opening day of the Premier League season with Brighton and Hove Albion. Evan Ferguson scored the equaliser. We'll take a look now at the rest of the squad, because there's still a few players here that will probably be leaving before the end of the summer. Because as I mentioned when we played them in the Champions League, not much had changed. Correas was the only one that really was any different when we played them in the Champions League. But the likes of Pedro Porro are still here. Destiny Dogi, Conor Gallagher, James Maddison, looking at him, maybe moving him on. Dominic Solanke, definitely thinking about moving him on. And a couple of others. Xavi doesn't want to stick around, wants to go and play Champions League football. As does Mickey van der Ven. But with a £76 million clause in his contract, he's not leaving for anything less than that. Kinski is currently our number 1, with Vicario gone. Hopefully before the end of the summer window, we'll have a new goalkeeper. I want another midfield player. Probably Alex Scott, trying to get a deal done with Bournemouth on that one. And that is probably about it, ready to challenge on just 3 fronts, which is interesting for us. Because making a Champions League semi-final last season equated to nothing else but a 9th place finish for us, and 30 points behind Arsenal at the top of the table. That is a hell of a gap to close, but it is something we are going to attempt to do this season. I want to get us back in the Champions League places. Obviously, that is the first aim of any manager. Win a trophy is the other. So we will see how that goes throughout the season. So this is how the Premier League looks after 1 game of the new season. It's welcome back to Norwich City, welcome back to Wolves, and welcome back to Ipswich Town into the Premier League picture. Arsenal lead the way with 4 points at the top of the table, but they are the only side, apart from Aston Villa, who have played 2 games so far this season. So I mentioned in the intro, Jose Mourinho is in charge of Crystal Palace, and Brennan Johnson is still there. So here are the 2 starting lineups as Kinski starts in goal for us. Savinia, Charles van der Ven, Caresses, Gray, Bergval, Sarr, Kudus, Gakpo, with Harry Kane captaining the side and leading the line as Greuley starts in goal for Palace. Hill, Lacroix, Richards, Mitchell, Alexandria, Beaudegaard, Meretit, Sarr, Pino, with Strad Larson leading the line, and Johnson only on the bench. So our mission, should we choose to accept it or not, is to get Harry Kane to 260 Premier League goals. Who do I expect to be in the battle for continental I think we're going to be there or thereabouts. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is home. Harry Kane is home. And hopefully we can achieve that goal. Will he retire before we do it? That is my biggest question. Liverpool won earlier in the day to go top of the Premier League. They beat Manchester United. So the usual suspects are going to be in and around us, I think. Obviously, this is a very poignant game for the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. This was the first one in the new stadium. Tottenham Hotspur versus Crystal Palace. I was there. We won the game. Let's hope history will repeat itself. Although Harry Kane didn't score that night. The honour goes to Heung-min Son and Christian Eriksen for being the first players to score for Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But yeah, the year we made the Champions League final against Liverpool. Don't want to remember that for obvious reasons, as Harry Kane is going to pick up the ball. He is going to find Cody Gakpo. Is he going to find a teammate in the centre? He's going to find Caresses on the edge of the box. He's driving towards goal. He gets a shot away! There we go. 4 minutes in to a home game. Back in London, back in England, and we lead from an unlikely source. The left back is the man that puts the ball into the back of the net. I will have trouble saying his name probably all the way through this, but he has scored the goal. The first goal. Ball into the penalty area, headed away by Strand Larsen. Patsar heading towards goal. Harry's lurking. Gakpo might get a shot away, deflected behind for a corner. Charles with the ball into Van der Ven. On towards Gakpo. Looking for a runner and finds the runner. Can he find a ball into the centre? He'll find Gakpo again. Will he play it in? He does. He finds Lucas Bergvall on the turn for Gray. Gray gets his shot from distance. And it's a very good save. Archie Gray pulling the trigger. And some of these Tottenham players are impressing me so far. It's been a nice, calm 15 minutes. Ball into the penalty area. Headed away. Picked up by Bergvall on the edge of the box. Will he drive it towards goal? He will. It's deflected behind again. And that Palace goal is getting peppered. Goodness with the corner. Ball into the penalty area. Not one in the air by a Tottenham player. And Pino is trying to look after it for Palace. And eventually they get it away, but it ain't going to be away for long. This Tottenham side are chomping at the bit. And I like it, to be honest. As Savannah goes round the outside. Will he find a ball into the centre? Tries to find a ball in behind for another corner. Wellcast Speed, Express VPN. Sponsor this video! They don't. Bergvall with the corner. Can he find a teammate? Be nice, wouldn't it? Ball into the penalty area. No, headed away. Gakpo picks it up on the edge of the box. I feel like I'm just repeating myself over and over again. Looking for a ball. No. Cleared away. Okay. But will be picked up in back play. And Crystal Palace cannot get out. Trying to make a turn and leaves his man behind. Tyreek Mitchell going for a pint of milk. Kudus is driving inside the penalty area. Gets the shot away. It's another corner. What's that? 5 corners? 6 corners in 18 minutes? Talk about going for the throat early. Crikey. There's Bergvall with the corner. Into the penalty area. Archie Gray! Oh! I'll tell you what, Rooley is earning his money today so far. Because he is just being absolutely peppered. And the ball in the penalty area again. Headed away. Kudus will pick it up. How many chances are we going to pass up before a second goal comes? You would think he's not going to be many more. Lucas Bergvall with the shot and fires it over. Rooley sends it down the field. It's going to be picked up in mid. There we go. We have a possession stat. How many corners? 9 corners in 22 minutes. You get 9 corners in a game. There's number 10. Goodness me. But we've not been clinical so far. I will say that. Lucas Bergvall with the free kick. Maybe looking to change it. He has a shot from the set piece behind for corner number 11 of the first half. Has Harry Kane had a chance yet? Probably not so far today. But we are in complete control. We might even move on to positive, folks. I'm thinking that well things are going. Yeah. Rooney with the ball. Now the one thing obviously with the high press is Harry's 35. The high press is not going to be his game. It is going to be get the ball to him, put it in the back of the net. That's kind of what I'm hoping happens at the top of the pitch anyway. As the ball is with Sarr, he gets the job, he drags it behind. I mean, we're taking the game to them. They've just had a shot though. Gakpo with the ball. Plays it into Bergvall. On to Gray. Looks for Sarr. Back in to Caressis. I'm liking the fact we're just knocking the ball around. Crystal Palace can't get anywhere near us at the moment. Looking for Kane early. Wins the header. Keeps it alive for Kudus. Might he get a shot away? He won't. No foul given. Harry Kane picking the ball up. Goalkeeper saves it. Offside flag went up anyway. Kudus beating Mitchell there. Can he pick out a teammate? Will he pick out a teammate? Will he go alone? He tries to go alone. It's another corner. Close it in on half time. And I've lost count again. Just the 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half though. Crystal Palace will be put out of their misery. They've got a lot of work to do at half time. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a couple of changes at the break. We might tinker with where Harry Kane's playing, but other than that, it is very much let's just keep going and let's find a second goal. Don't be too lax on the ball, is what I would say. That's it. Look to a forward pass. Lucas Bergvall has made the run off the ball. Can he find Harry Kane? Yes, he can. He can't find the back of the net, though. Unfortunately, his big moment has gone so far today. Others will come, I'm sure. there is the half-time whistle. Thank you, Michael Oliver, for being prompt with your whistle. 1-0 on the break. Early goal. An unlikely scorer as mentioned. And absolute domination from there. Right, let's see what we've got him doing team instruction-wise. Final third. Right, okay, low crosses. Perhaps we just do balanced with Harry. And then we'll see what happens. But what I want to do, and something I probably should have done before the start of the game, a player instruction. So, long shots are discouraged ordinarily for the main man. Shoot more often. Why not? I mean, he is capable of scoring a goal from anywhere, Harry Kane, even at this age. But as it stands, they are only a goal down. But the pattern is very much emerging again, that it's going to be all Tottenham on the football. And just seeing if Crystal Palace can hang on, I guess. Gakpo with the ball. Looking for a runner. Finds Harry Kane, who is a willing runner. And he's behind for a corner. Again. And Moretti is there. I mean, we've completely been overloaded. And the ball is in the net. Thankfully, the offside flag is up. Looking for a ball. Midfield seems to have disappeared a little bit, which is quite worrying. As Hill is coming forward. Gakpo is going backwards. Strand Larsen is inside the penalty area. Crystal Palace committing men forward and have an equaliser. Okay. That wasn't in the script at all, I don't think. Fabio Ritteri with the equaliser. They just overload us at the back stick, don't they? I said about the midfield looking like it was lost. Well, it was. It was completely missing. And there is the equaliser. All right. Tottenham still doing the things the hard way. I get it. Doing it the hard way since 1882. It should print it on a t-shirt. Driving down the field, looking for Harry Kane. Looking for Kudus. Now, got to get back into position. And Kudus tries to go beyond Mitchell. Plays it into Gray. Oh, loses out. Mitchell picks it up. And Crystal Palace come away with it. And the counter-attack is on again, is it? Yes. Yes, it is. And they've started to grow into this game, Crystal Palace. I'm a little bit worried about them now. Not a foul? No? Okay. Being allowed to go on. And perhaps are giving it in to Kudus eventually. Finding the ball on the right. No. And loses out. Okay. Maybe we will make a change or two. Not quite sure what they're doing at the moment. And I think we're fair to say, I'm not sure they do either. They're over the ball. Looking at Kudus. Come on, you had Mitchell on toast in the first half. Continue to have him on toast. Ball back into the penalty area. Too sharp. Oh, hang on. Whoa. Penalty. All right. Chance for Harry Kane. I think. I hope. I pray. They're reviewing it. So we've got an opportunity. Penalties. Who's on them? James Maddison's on the bench. Why is Harry Kane not on penalty duty? Sort that out. Penalty has been awarded. And a bit of luck, perhaps. Looked like it was going absolutely nowhere. Harry Kane with the chance to get down to number 45. Started 47 behind Alan Shearer. Scored against Brighton. Can he score against Crystal Palace? No, he cannot. Well, there's a shock. Harry Kane has missed a penalty. Dumbfounded. Ball into the penalty area. Picked up by Bergvall. Played into Gakpo. Back to Bergvall. Have a shot, Lucas. Does have a shot. Hits the post. Kane puts it in. Oh, the offside flag might well rescue Crystal Palace here. I'm not sure. I think he's just alive to the situation. Even with pace of 10. And I think the goal is going to be given. And it has been. Harry Kane has scored on his return to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Yeah, he's miles onside. Might be slow, but he's still got that killer instinct. Hits the post, comes back to him. One of the easier ones. So he's now 45 behind Alan Shearer. Oh, dear. I wish he was closer, if I'm honest. Eventually he will be. Mittretti with the free kick for Crystal Palace. They've got back into the game once. I don't want them doing it again. Hawkinski with a good save. Right, we are going to make a change as we come to the hour. Mohamed Kudus has run his race. Dejan Kulusevski is going to come on for him. Back to his number 21. Conor Gallagher's going to come on. And then we'll put Lucas in there and Gallagher in there. I think that works pretty well. We are only just the goal in front, heading into the final 10 minutes. Another couple of changes are coming, including Harry Kane departing the scene for today. Jonathan David going to come on for him. We'll make a change on the other side as well. Luis Enrique coming on. And we'll make a change at left back. Destiny Dogi back into the lineup. Just keep hold of the ball. Don't need to do anything fancy with it from here. Tyreek Mitchell is about to be sent off. Ooh, he's lucky. He's been substituted as Brennan Johnson comes onto the field. To a warm applause from me as well. Thank you for Bilbao, Brennan Johnson. We'll never forget him for that. As 7 minutes have gone up. Not quite sure where that's come from. The VAR check didn't take that long, did it? Maybe it did. Ball looking wide for Enrique. Can he get beyond his man? Yes, he can. Can he pick out Jonathan David? No, he can't. Cleared away. All headed forward. And Conor Gallagher with the shot. Destiny Dogi might have a go. Patsar might have a go. Somebody have a bloody go, for goodness sake. On towards Savannah. Looking for Dejan Kulusevski. Dives inside. As Dejan Kulusevski does. Finds Jonathan David on the turn. Really with the save. Final act of this first home game for me in charge. It's not been smooth sailing. But we have got there in the end. And Conor Gallagher, will he find a teammate? He will just play Lucas Berval towards Enrique. And that is full time. Tottenham 2, Crystal Palace 1. Doesn't matter how you win as long as you do. It should have been much more than 2. Rooley, probably the man of the match with an 8.8 in goal. He faced 14 shots at goal. How many corners in the end? 18 of them as we move into the top 4 of match day 2. So here are the rest of the results from the Premier League weekend. What a first 10 minutes it was at Anfield. 3-1 to Liverpool, but 3 goals in 8 minutes against Manchester United. Bournemouth beat Wolves by 1-0. Burnley and Norwich drew 1-1. Newcastle beat Fulham. Nottingham Forest beat West Ham. We beat Crystal Palace with Manchester City and Everton to play. Chelsea and Brentford also to play. So the early season table, 4th place for us. Still unbeaten, but quite a few sides are still unbeaten. Don't read too much into the league table in the second week in August. So, with some work still to be done in the transfer window, we are going to make a little bit of progress. So we will take on Fulham in the Carabao Cup. We'll take on Wolves. We'll take on Everton, which will be after the transfer window closes, probably. Might close on the Monday. More likely to close on the 31st of August, because that's when it will generally close completely, yeah. Unless it falls on the weekend, fine. And then we'll take on Ipswich at Portman Road, come back for Bournemouth before the massive international break. So yeah, it's going to be a while, but a trip to Old Trafford is what we have to look forward to next time around with a few new additions. Work in progress, I think, is the thing I would say. Lots of good things about today, lots of chances created, lots of shots on target. Harry Kane is on the score sheet, down to 45 behind Alan Shearer. So yeah, things going well so far. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.